Hey everybody, it's Jade. How you faring? Hope you're faring well. Thank you so much for swinging on through. Whether you're new or you're returning on back, I'm kind of returning on back. It's been a little bit, pretty much a month since my last post here. A month since the big game happened. Kansas City won again, like we know. All right. But I want to thank everybody too for hanging out during my live Super Bowl planetary pregame prediction, where if you don't know, I look at the astrological chart, see what the planets are doing, and at the time of the game to see if I can determine who the winner is going to be. And I gotta say, I'm 2 for 2 since I started doing them last year. So I got the LA Rams prediction right last year, and then this year as well, had Kansas City winning. Didn't exactly nail it on the points. Those are extra hard, but that's something to work on in the future. As we all know, or if you don't know, Kansas City beat the frickin' Eagles. Can't stand the team. Can't stand the band. All right. 38 to, what was it, 35? Yeah, got to hit up my nerd notes here. But yeah, 38-35. So thanks again for everybody that joined during my live planetary pregame of the Super Bowl. So speaking of Eagles too, like I said, I can't stand that team. I can't stand the band. I don't really like Kansas City either, to be honest. It was just kind of like a wash. But speaking of Eagles, I want to show you all something that I've been mildly obsessed with as of late. Okay. So I've been watching this. Oh, we got a little action here right now. But non-game wildlife Eagle Cam, Minnesota Department of Natural Resources. They have a live stream of this going on. So not gonna lie, this is one eagle because I like the actual animal. I just can't stand the team and the band. Can I say that again? Anyway, so this is kind of fun to watch. I'm pretty sure they have, those kind of all sprinkled across, wherever, but this is the Minnesota one. I'm not exactly sure where the nest is exactly. Maybe we don't need to know that. But yeah, so this is kind of fun. I'm not going to lie to, I want to say about like 20 minutes ago, if we were to go back, that the second eagle came in here. Oh, are we even live now? I got to catch up. Oh, there we are. Okay. Yeah, I tried to go back. Anyway, so this is kind of fun. That's if anybody wants to check it out. Again, it's on the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, their YouTube page. Non-game wildlife Eagle Cam. Love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. So speaking of Minnesota too, just a couple of Minnesota sports things that I wanted to catch up on. One of the big things that happened this week, again, in regards to Minnesota sports, is Lindsay Whalen, former WNBA champion, superstar, former Minnesota Golden Gopher and Minnesota native. She was let go from her position as the head coach of the Minnesota Golden Gophers women's basketball team. So that was kind of a surprise that kind of made a splash in the land of 10,000 lakes this week. So that happened. She has yet to talk to the media about it, or the press rather. She had a couple of tweets, or put a couple of tweets out there that she'll, kind of come out and talk to everybody when she's ready. I think from the sounds of it, it seems like, it was a little bit of a surprise there to everybody, including her. So always been a fan of Lindsay Whalen, wishing her the best and whatever, she has next coming up. And yeah, for the Golden Gophers too, I guess. So moving on, other Minnesota teams that are actually playing right now. Minnesota Timberwolves, they're kind of howling. All right, click over here. They beat the Sacramento Kings last night, 138-134, as you can see. I think, what are they? They are 34-32 right now. Without Karl Anthony Towns, we don't know where you are, Kat. Okay, where are you at, dude? You sneaking around? You prowling around? What are you doing? You're not playing. But, Anthony Edwards is the true, leader of the team now, so there's that. Anyway, so the Wolves are on a little bit of a howling streak. Anthony Edwards, what happened last night? I think he made a couple of clutch shots. Rudy Gobert played decently. I'm still just kind of up in the air about the Rudy Gobert thing. And can I say that I'm mildly pissed off that D'Angelo Russell is not on the Timberwolves anymore? He's on the Lakers right now, I believe. He got traded to the Lakers. I don't think he's even playing right now. But anyway, always like D'Lo, so gotta move on, but I can still be annoyed about it. And then our kind of darling right now in the Minnesota sports world, this is Minnesota Wild. I mean, one team that's consistently pretty good. What are they right now? They're 63-36. I think they're second right now. So, moving on now to the NFL, even though, yes, we're in like the post-mortem, we're, post-Super Bowl mortem, we're in the off-season. All right, the NFL off-season, but the combine's going on right now, the NFL combine. Does anybody care? Does anybody care? Well, some people do. I'm going to sneak on over to Twitter here, too. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll throw it on up there. If you want to follow me, there's my handle. But yeah, the combine, who gives a rip? Honestly, I don't care. I mean, some people do, but not going to lie, I've not really been paying attention. I just kind of wanted to share a quick Chris Thomason tweet about Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. I have listened to a few clips, too. I might kind of scroll up to one of those, but I will say, too, that, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is a word weaver extraordinaire. Really is. I feel like that's where half of the paycheck goes. I mean, probably not. Obviously, he's a smart dude, but, he'll just throw any words out there to make it sound, oh, yeah, whatever. And we might have to play something here for reference, but the thing is right now, especially with all teams, and, of course, the Minnesota Vikings, who's staying, who's going, what's happening, can we get any snippets out of people at the combine? I think that's honestly the main reason of the combine, in my little humble opinion over here, is you can watch players run and jump and do all that stuff, but I think it's to probe, the GMs, the head coaches, what's going on? What kind of decisions are you doing? What are you doing? What are you up to? So anyway, and one of the big names, obviously, for the Vikings, let's just go through a couple of them. Adam Thielen, is he going to restructure his deal? Potentially. He's going to have to allegedly take a lot of less money. Harrison Smith, it sounds like he potentially is going to stay. All of this is alleged and potential. I mean, we're in the off season, right? So it's all just pure speculation at this point. Harrison Smith, sounds like rumblings are that he's going to stay, but we'll see. That would kind of be an interesting one because he's played his entire career with the Minnesota Vikings. And then Zadarius Smith, the other Smith on the team, he has put up his house for sale in Minnesota, so that's something to watch. Papa Patrick, all right? Patrick Peterson, apparently he is wanted. He is a wanted man. They want him back. I like Patrick Peterson. I think he would be, kind of like a crafty veteran, in the locker room that the Minnesota Vikings definitely need, part of a solid core experienced player, that can kind of help guide the younger ones along. But I mean, he did get burned many times on the field, but I like Patrick Peterson overall. Brian Flores apparently wants him to come back. Again, it's all hearsay right now. And I don't know why I just said it like that. And another one here that I have just been harping on. It's like a broken record. Tale as old as purple time over here. Dalvin Cook. All right, they should have traded him 2 years ago. The dude can't stay healthy. He's never played a full season healthy. Now he's just having shoulder surgery. That's a tongue twisty. Okay, it's they should have gotten rid of him many, many moons ago. And then Danielle Hunter, it'd be cool if they got him to stay. I mean, especially with somebody new at defensive coordinator. And then Eric Hendricks. It sounds like everyone is so confident. Well, everyone that's just people, media, all that stuff, that Eric Hendricks is going to get the boot. But I feel like if Harrison Smith stays, I feel like they're going to work something out with Eric Hendricks to stay too. Again, I could be wrong. This is all just hearsay. Now, on to this Chris Thomason tweet, because one of the big ones, too, is Justin Jefferson, and then we'll get to the biggest one of them all. But Justin Jefferson, a lot of people, hey, should the Vikings actually just consider trading Justin Jefferson and getting rid of him, getting all these picks in? Me, personally, I mean, I think they need to keep Justin Jefferson. I've said this before, and I think they need to centralize, build Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, the team around Justin Jefferson, the best offensive weapon. But we'll get to you-know-who in a minute here. So apparently Kwesi was on with PA and today via the Combine. This was from February 28th, again, via Chris Thomason, obviously, on Twitter here. And this is just a word weaving at its finest with a Justin Jefferson hopeful extension because he's not going to get paid, as we know, right? His tenure as Vikings GM, Kwesi said, "We love Justin." Well, I mean, come on. Who doesn't, right? And nothing would make me happier, ... to have him for all those years and to outlast me. Yeah, That would be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? But you're really not telling us anything. Okay, what do we got here? Vikings Insider down here. Quasi called it a high priority when asked about a contract extension with all-pro wide receiver Justin Jefferson. Now, I think that they want to do it, but where are they going to get all the money? Where are they going to get the money that Justin Jefferson, is going to require, deserve, all that market value, all that stuff? I don't want to be the Vikings GM without that guy on our team. All right, well, he's going to try his best. There was a little clip somewhere. Where is it? There's another one. Dalvin Tomlinson. Oh, here it is. This is some of the word weaving.
So it's a high priority. We got to make sure that we do it.
That's his key word there with Jefferson is high priority.
I said it earlier. I don't want to be the Vikings.
That's fair.
Without that guy on our team. So it's a high priority. We got to make sure that we do it in the order that we can do it in. Obviously, given our, all our other.
What order is that though? Like what order?
It's
what do
not
you
just
mean?
having an elite player, because I think people maybe they appreciate the talent, maybe they don't. The human.
Why would we not appreciate the talent? My dude. People, you gotta. Yeah. Again, they're good at really the smoke and mirrors, the purple smoke and mirrors. They got that down. But he's really not saying anything. And I gotta say, that I think is part of their job, right? Not to let anything out. He does a pretty good job of it, I will say that, but we're not getting anything.
It's even better seeing it up close every day. He just wants to win. When I met him, the first time I met him, actually, we walk in the building and
I've seriously heard this story so many times, but how long is the video? A minute? Okay, we'll let it play out for those of you that haven't heard the story. This is a tale as old as Quasi time here. I've heard this story a couple of times, but you gotta go with your good ones, right? You gotta go with what works.
I made a joke about something else that was happening with the wide receiver at the time, about their contract, and I just laughed and said, we won't have any issues. And he says, I just want to put wins on the board. Didn't smile. It wasn't really like this haha thing. It was the way he said it. That's the guy you see on Sunday who won't turn down double teams, whole defense designed to stop him.
Because he's a good player.
The Vikings on his back. He wants to win a championship. When you have people like that in your building, try everything you can and not let them out. So I said it earlier.
Well, okay. Again, the word weaving at its finest there. That is from Pro Football Network. So anyway, I just find that to be very it's kind of entertaining, I will say. In a sense it is, but at the same time it's like, okay, we're not getting anything here. We're not getting anything. And the biggest person here is Pizza Boy. What is gonna happen here with Pizza Rage Boy, with Kirk Cousins, with none other than Kirk Cousins? I mean, what's happening with him? Okay, is he going to agree to potentially take less money for some sort of deal with Justin Jefferson in the future? Are they going to extend Kirk? I mean, at this point, I've pretty much, I don't have to fully accept it. But I've pretty much, kind of come to the, understanding, let us say, that Kirk's going to be on this team at least for next year. Now, there's a lot of speculation. It's been hot as of late. He's a hot topic, right? That Pizza Boy is got those red pepper flakes on him there. At least with in regards to the trade chatter and all that. And he's a very polarizing topic, always has been. But it's just the Vikings are stuck with him. They're tethered to this dude that is slowly just trying to sink their ship. He doesn't do anything, in my opinion. I think a lot of you already know this. He doesn't uplift everyone else. In my opinion, that's what you need a main quarterback to do on your team, is to be the guy, the dude, person, whatever, that uplifts, that can lead the rest of the team. And what I've seen with Kirk, what we've seen, I guess I'll just talk for me here, he can't do that. He's incapable of doing that, but he has the best agent in the league. I will say this, because he's going to get paid. He's got 1 year left, a no trade clause. So I think he gets about $30 million this year. But the big thing is, then what? Okay, then what are the Vikings going to do with him? Are you going to keep him again? Are we going to go through this again? Please, no! Can you trade him to the 49ers? Can you trade him to Kyle Shanahan for Trey Lance, Minnesota native Trey Lance, and then some picks here? Probably not. They don't want him. Nobody wants him. So now Kevin O'Connell has got to do some more coddling. And Quasi's got to figure out how they're going to tinker around with the entire roster, to plan for the future, because this is now year number 2 with these two. They inherited Cousins, right? They weren't the one to make that massive deal. And yeah, I think it's not their complete, I will say, with Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi, like, yeah, they got to deal with it now. They weren't the ones. I'm still annoyed that the third stooge didn't get just asked to leave with Spielman and Zimmer. They should have gotten rid of Cousins then, but of course they didn't do that. And do we have to go back to the last play of the last game here, this last season? On a 4th down, on the last play of the game, the last chance that you have for your team, okay? You're going to throw a little short freaking whatever, it was a check down, I think, to Hawkinson for like, what was it, a yard? The 4th and 8 or whatever it was, the debacle, trying to get it out of my mind. But I mean, that's just the microcosm of what Pizza Boy, aka Kirk Cousins, is, okay? He's got a ceiling, and that's it. And I think Kwesi and Kevin are smart enough to realize that ceiling, right? They see it. They see it. So the thing is, are you going to draft a quarterback? Are you going to try to make some trades to move up in the draft to draft a potential quarterback here? Again, all speculation. And I will say that I have a sneaking suspicion. I still do. And I've said this for a couple years now, that Justin Jefferson, there is all the potential in the world for this turning into a Stephon Diggs 2.0 situation, where Jefferson's going to be like, okay, they're sticking with, Pizza Ranch boy. All right, I know what his ceiling is and when he's going to throw to me, when he's not going to throw to me. Like, okay, I want to get out of here. That is still a potential. That is still something that could potentially happen. And I don't want it to. I don't want it to. So we'll see, though, again, because it's all rumors right now. It's all rumors, and we can, put things out there until the cows come home and think about all these, like, things. But that's the thing. Could I say thing again? Thing. That's why Kwesi and Kevin are paid the big bucks, all right? Make those decisions. And then after those decisions come, then we can, pick them apart and all that good stuff. But right now, we're all just making stuff up, right? And can I just say, too, back to the Kirk going to the 49ers thing, because that is one story that really made steam this last week. The last 2 weeks, the Kirk, where's he going? Is he going to say, again, very polarizing. It's been a hot topic for the last couple of weeks. But I'm like, oh, okay, somebody's stealing my takes again. I've been talking about Kirk getting traded to the 49ers, going back to his bestie, Kyle Shanahan, for 2 years now. I've been saying straight up trade for Jimmy G. Now, okay, let's straight up swap for Trey Lance. Why not? But I've also read, too, the 49ers don't want Kirk. Nobody wants him. We're stuck with him. Anyway, if I could go back now, speaking of Stephon Diggs, I just wanted to reference this quickly. This was a tweet that I actually retweeted. And again, if those of you that want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is up there. This was from Stephon Diggs, tweeted this on February 18th of this year. And I laughed so hard when I saw this, because this is what my theory was the entire time. When Stephon Diggs was on the team, I refused to call Stephon Diggs Diggsy. Refused. I was like, that, I don't like it. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Stephon Diggs doesn't like it. And now, boom, mic drop. He just confirmed. All right. So I got to give myself a little pat on the back there. Okay. So Stephon Diggs, I don't like the name Diggsy, or however you spell it. I let 2 people call me that, and that was Norv and Kirk. And then if you look, too, at the reply, who's laughing underneath that? None other than Jerick McKinnon, former Minnesota Viking. Gosh, I'm sure, too, whenever Stephon Diggs just, heard himself being referred to as Diggsy, it just, made his eye twitch a little bit, Just ugh, it's annoying. So annoying. But anyway, I just had to throw that in there just because I found that to be hilarious when I saw that. So anyway, I just had to throw that in and share that with y'all, because you know how I do. I just got to share all these little snippets and all the little things that I find. So anyway, I'm also got a lot of nerd notes today to get through here, people. But I also am wishing you all a happy full moon. We have a full moon in Virgo on Tuesday on the 7th. So again, full moon's a really good time for, preparing for the new beginning with the next new moon, because new moons are kind of like a culmination, usually like an ending of things. Virgo can be very like detail oriented, can be a lot to do with like routine, possibly something to do with pets, maybe something like that as well. Health maybe on your mind too. It all depends where Virgo is in your chart, but wishing you all a happy full moon. And then I also just wanted to touch on a couple like some astro weather, a little bit of astrological weather for the month of March for all of you. Not only are we going to have the spring equinox on the 20th, so that's actually the astrological new year. We're going to be going into the Aries season, and that is the first sign of the zodiac. So a lot of, astrologers will kind of celebrate that, or like pagans, or, whoever, as the new year. And I was also listening to something else recently where many moons ago, they actually celebrated, like pagans, witches, and I think others too, actually celebrated the new year on November 1st, like after, Halloween. That was their new year. So a lot of little cool things just to think about. And if you want to look it up, obviously, y'all know where the Google is and all that good stuff. So some astro weather that's coming in for the month of March. So we have we have the spring equinox on the 20th. So happy spring, everybody. Again, happy astrological new year. Happy Aries season. Also, we're in Pisces season too. So happy Pisces season. Happy birthday to all the Pisces out there. We have Mars, our action planet. It also can rule ambition. It can bring kind of heat, and it's known as a malefic. So depending again on your birth chart, it can bring some maybe anger sometimes. So Mars has actually been in the sign of Gemini for I think 8 to 11 months. He's been there for quite some time. So now he's actually moving into the sign of Cancer, which is a water sign ruled by the moon. Very nurturing, has to do with the mother as well. So we could see a shift too in our energy. Again, Mars going from Gemini, which is very kind of an air sign. They think with their mind a lot, ruled by Mercury, so communication. So you could feel that shift kind of taking place with your drive, your ambition, energy kind of going into a watery, maybe more emotional time potentially for some of you. Again, it depends on your personal chart, but this will affect us all. So another really two big things that are happening in March too is Saturn is shifting signs. Saturn is moving into the sign of Pisces. Now, the last time Saturn was in Pisces was 1994 to 1996. So it's going to stay in Pisces between 2023 and 2026. So Saturn can bring restrictions, blockages. It's known as the karmic teacher, father time. It rules older people. So that's going into Pisces. So we could see maybe some restrictions on maybe film, television, drugs, pharmaceuticals, things like that, because that's things that Pisces rules. Also maybe something to do with the sea, with water, potentially with oil, something like that as well. So again, the last time this shift happened was 1994 to 1996. So you can kind of think back to that in your life if you're around then and what you're doing. And then another huge shift that we have taking place, again, some astro weather for you all here, is the planet Pluto. Yep, planet Pluto is moving into the sign of Aquarius. The planet Pluto rules the underworld, transformations. It can kind of tear things down that don't work. It can kind of reveal things that were below the surface that can cause some upheavals. But it's challenging to get through those things, but it also clears away what isn't working. Now, with Pluto is so slow moving that the last time this happened was the years 1777 to 1797. Now, Pluto is going to stay in Aquarius between 2023 and 2044. Pluto has been in Capricorn for the last 21 years. So again, if you can kind of think Pluto, transformation, things underneath, hidden, occult, underworld. If you know where Capricorn is in your chart, you can kind of sense those themes, and it's been there for the last 20 years. So now again, Pluto will be going into Aquarius, which kind of can circle us back to the age of Aquarius or the air age that we find ourselves in now after the collision of Jupiter and Saturn back in like 2020, 2019. So anyway, the last time this happened, 1777 to 1797 was when Pluto was last in an Aquarius, because Pluto takes, I think about 240, 260 years to go through the entire zodiac. So the last time this happened was the Age of Enlightenment. Also, the French and American revolutions took place during this time. In 1787, the U.S. Constitution was established. Some other little notes here. Back in 1787, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, the planet Uranus was discovered. In 1796, the first successful smallpox vaccine was also developed. Another thing was in 1792, author Mary Wollstonecraft published A Vindication of the Rights of Women. And a little kind of fun note there is that Mary was also the mother of author Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein. So just some kind of things to think about. And then another thing too was classical music was just so popular during that time as well, you know, with Mozart, Beethoven, all that type of music. So again, the Age of Enlightenment. So perhaps, I mean, obviously not all the planets are in the same spot that they were back in 1777, the last time Pluto went into Aquarius, but those are just maybe some themes that will maybe be repeating themselves, and possibly a lot to do, I think, with technology, with AI, you know, because that's kind of where we are right now. So some big shifts happening for March. So just wanted to give you a little astrological weather update there too. So I want to thank you all too, just for hanging out with me. Wow. This one turned into a long one. I was like, oh yeah, maybe I was talking like 15 minutes. No, I'm almost at a half hour. I got that gift of gab, like you know. But thanks again, everybody, for joining me. Just going through my little nerd notes here. Oh, do we want to check in on the ego cam one more time before we leave? Let's not really anything new. No, just kind of hanging out in there. So again, like one eagle that I will actually watch. So, ooh, there, it's like the eagle knew. He or she, not exactly sure. I have it on mute too, so we can't really. Ooh, yeah, the nest is blowing. So everybody go check out that eagle cam. But again, yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it as always, and for supporting the channel. And yeah, happy full moon on the 7th. And I'm trying to think of anything else that I should update you all with. I don't think I really got anything. I think I got it all in there. And I'm sure that I forgot something and I'm going to be like, damn it. Maybe it was something to do with Pizza Boy. Who knows? Anyway, so as the world turns, but I appreciate you all. Thank you again for joining me. And until next time, take care and peace out. P.S. Mar, how's it going? Hi to you and Kitty, of course. Miss you both. Hope to see you soon. All right, everybody. I'll check you later. Bye.